Hey guys, welcome back to Words of War. My name is Jorge Guerra,
And I'm Sergio Guerra.
and today we're going to be reviewing Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen the commercials yet, it's kind of like Groundhog Day. If you ever saw that movie, but with like more futuristic, war and weapons and stuff like that.
And no Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman.
Oops, Bill Murray.
This is a sin, and it must go on video.
I was thinking of Bill Paxton.
I know.
And then I was like Bill Pullman, and then I was like...
You don't confuse Bill Murray with any other Bill.
It's because they didn't put the fucking in there, like Bill fucking Murray. That's what happened. Yeah.
Anyways, so this is kind of an interesting movie. It stars Tom Cruise, of course, and he's kind of like a government marketing guy, and so the movie begins with already mankind being invaded by this alien force and kind of losing the war. And so Tom Cruise's character kind of goes on TV, and he's the guy that's kind of making everybody think like, hey, we got these brand new weapons, this awesome stuff, we're gonna win this war. He convinces a lot of people pretty much to go to this war, which he kind of knows is going to be a bloodbath. And so the movie starts with kind of a little twist for him when they sort of put him in the middle of the war that he was trying to avoid. So anyways, it's kind of interesting, time traveling kind of thing. We don't want to say too much as far as spoilers, but he ends up gaining the power to go back and relive his day every time he dies. And that's kind of what the story, is kind of about, like how he uses that to try and win the war. So what did you think about it?
I actually didn't know how I was going to feel coming into this movie because, I watched Oblivion, like the recent, Tom Cruise movies, and like I was saying to you earlier, like Tom Cruise kind of has this thing, like every time that I'm kind of like, oh, Tom Cruise, I don't know if you're still relevant. Like he comes out with a movie that I'm like, oh, you are still relevant. This is good. And that's what this movie was for me. It definitely reminded me that Tom Cruise is a good actor. Emily Blunt is a great actress, and so playing alongside him, it worked out extremely well. I thought the little world that they built and stuff like that, it's kind of like in the near future, so it wasn't like super, like the weapons weren't super far fetched. Father, necessity is the father of invention. So I could totally see if something like that were to happen, how those weapons would have and then end up evolving. I think the character development for both of these characters was done really well, and it was a fun movie. Like it was, all the ups and downs were there. I really enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. I haven't seen an action movie in a while that is just action but still has that story arc very strongly built into it. So I thought that was really well done. And I thought the characters in there, even though some of them were kind of staple, still worked. The Bill dilemma. So Bill Paxton was in this, and he was really good. I always love Bill Paxton, and he did extremely good in this. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I enjoyed it, and I definitely thought like the effects were done really well. I thought the action was good where it needed to be, and there was even like some lighthearted humor and stuff like that where it needed to be. So it really balanced the stuff out well for me. What did you think?
As far as like the CG on it, it was very, very good. I mean, this is one of those movies that shows you like what CG is good for. You watch all these war scenes and these fighting these kind of mechanical like creatures, the alien invading force, and you don't realize it's CG. I mean, you forget about it, and that's what a really good effect should do. It should just let you enjoy the story and believe for a second what you're watching is real. So I really like that. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it in 3D, so we can't say if it would have been a better experience as far as 3D. I can kind of see where it might have been, but it's also so much like based on on actual being in the war and being like in the fights, and so there was a lot of camera movement, jittery stuff or whatever, and maybe the 3D would have just kind of made that even worse. So so it was still good. If you don't catch it in 3D, it was still good this other way. As far as the movie itself, like storyline and everything, I thought it was. I also enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked this much better than I thought I would. I was gonna like it, and which call it. And I agree. It's kind of hard with somebody like Tom Cruise. That's he's just Tom Cruise. He can't help it. Like everywhere he goes, and any movie he plays, it's just there's all of him comes with it. And so the filmmaker Doug Liman, right? He was and the writers, of course. I think they did a really good job in kind of maintaining a balance between him and Emily Blunt. And it never seemed like he's just like a big old superhero or whatever. You really see his character progress from being kind of like a coward, not really wanting to be in the war, and then he just gets thrust into being part of this resistance, and practically the only one that can actually make a difference in the long run. So yeah, their chemistry was really, really good, and then the fact that the movie starts off a little bit more in a comedy sense for me, like they throw a couple little jokes, mainly at the fact that Tom Cruise's character is a little bit of a coward, and then the fact that he's having to die and then relive this day. So there's a lot of comedic moments with that push the story through, and even though you really actually do watch like things repeat a lot, it never really kind of gets old, So overall, I kind of liked it. I just think that it started off pretty strong, pretty well, and all that, and at a good pace, and it kind of lost a little steam for me, like after the middle, towards the end, which I think is when it should have picked up more, and so I felt a little disbalanced there. But that doesn't take away too much from the experience of it. So, what about like
ratings?
There you go, rating. That's their review.
The R word.
Yeah.
Honestly, like rating, I was a little in between, but right now just talking about it. Honestly, I would go with an 8, just because the acting was solid, and like I said, it's been a while since I've seen an action movie that actually sent like the center of it all was still the story. It wasn't just about 2 minutes of dialogue, 3 minutes of explosions. And so on and so forth. Like it mixed it really well. So it was a good movie, and I think just about anybody can go watch this and enjoy it. Like it wasn't too over the top where people. It was based kind of in reality, and that's another thing that I really kind of enjoyed about it. So yeah, I would go with it because I'd probably pick it up and I'd watch it again. I definitely think I want to go watch this in 3D just to see what the difference is. But what about you?
I really enjoyed it. I think there's some stuff in this film that to me felt like they kind of didn't go all the way through with it, with a little bit more of the characters, like the supporting cast, and what they were. And I know it's part of the story because, you kind of have to see these people every day, and it's just kind of like they're kind of trapped in this one thing that happens every single day. So it's part of the story, but even their relationship though was really good. They kind of do more at hinting at their relationship, at the relationship with others that they have, and I think that's really good. It's smart storytelling because instead of them telling you like this is what's going on with this character, or having them kind of like self-expose each other, like, oh, I really love this girl, or I really think this guy's great, they just kind of show it to you, and I personally enjoyed that. But because it's not super clear and things aren't necessarily spoon-fed too much, I don't know. I just feel like some people might not necessarily get it, or they might kind of be waiting for the story to tell them more, and they might miss the little subtleties. And there's a couple of scenes, we were talking about one earlier with Tom Cruise, just the subtle choices he made in one of those scenes, or many of them, but that's missing in a lot of movies nowadays. So you'd have to go watch it. I still would recommend it, but I don't know. I get this feeling that maybe not everybody would be into it because it's not being force-fed down your throat. So my rating for it would be a 7. Although I still would recommend it, and I probably would definitely go watch it again.
Cool. Well, I mean, if you guys checked it out, let us know. If you watched it in 3D, let us know if it was a huge difference. We would like to know. But as always, down in the comments below, we would appreciate it. But again, like, comment, subscribe if you could. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Jorge Guerra.
And Sergio Guerra.
And you have a good one. Bye.